Hi, book lovers. Welcome to My Reading Journey, an online diary of the books the Information Services Librarians at Lincolnwood Public Library are reading. I'm Paula, and for this episode, I'm doing something a little different. I'm suggesting an entire genre of books for you to explore. Now, we are living in a time of uncertainty, and readers, including librarians, are having a very tough time sustaining their concentration. Several friends and colleagues of mine who are voracious readers note that they have only finished one or two books since this pause started. A recent article by a neuroscientist explains how an inability to concentrate is a side effect of our brains trying to manage a high level of anxiety and ambiguity all the time. So what we're all experiencing is very normal. But there is an entire genre of fiction with the power to remove a little of that uncertainty from our lives right now, and it's romance. For a book to be classified as a romance, it has to have a happy ending. There are no exceptions, and there is no guesswork. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. She wants me to read trash. Romance gained this reputation because it is the one fiction genre that has historically been written by women for women. But today, romance authors are more diverse and romance is more respected. Romance books are reviewed by the National Public Radio and the New York Times. Additionally, romance authors come from a variety of professional fields. There are lawyers who have clerked at the Supreme Court, retired surgeons, university professors and deans, social workers, public policy leaders, and even a few librarians in the mix. And if you have read Pride and Prejudice, Sense and Sensibility, Persuasion, Mansfield Park, or Emma, by Jane Austen, you have read a romance. So where to start? The library's Overdrive and Libby apps have a great selection of romance books, and I have a few suggestions of my personal favorites for you. The Bromance Book Club by Lissa K. Adams. This is a great place to start. It is a story about second chances. A secret romance book club made up of men from Nashville's community uses romance books, or manuals, as they are called, as guides to solving relationship issues. Throughout, readers will learn about the structure of romance stories and what makes them so appealing. This book is sweet and it's funny while addressing what makes a marriage work. Ayesha at Last by Uzma Jalaluddin. This is another great entry into romance as it is a modern take of Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice, a story that's familiar to many readers. This story is set in Toronto's Muslim community. Ms. Jalaluddin is a journalist with years of writing experience, and it shows in this beautifully written story. Additionally, Ms. Jalaluddin grew up in Toronto, and her personal experiences as a member of its Muslim community enrich the story. Rebel by Beverly Jenkins. This is a historical romance set in the aftermath of the Civil War. Rebel offers readers insight into how emancipated communities work to survive and flourish in Reconstruction-era New Orleans. Belinda Lacey arrives from New York to teach former slaves how to read and write. She's taken in by the Levesque family after being thrown out by her landlady, and she starts to fall for Captain Drake Levesque. Beverly Jenkins, who is considered one of romance's best writers working today, provides readers with insight into the violence and injustice of the Reconstruction period, as well as the tension between old Creole families and former slaves. But she also gives readers characters to cherish and a satisfying and happy love story. And finally, we have The Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang. This book tells the story of a successful woman with Asperger's syndrome, and she is a math genius. But at 30 years old, Stella Lane has no experience dating, and the idea of kissing is absolutely disgusting to her. With her mother pressuring her for grandchildren, Stella decides it is only logical to hire a professional to practice with before she can have a boyfriend. This is Helen Huang's debut, and she writes from her own experience with navigating the world through the lens of a person with Asperger's. I hope you will consider exploring the romance books highlighted today or explore others on your own in Overdrive or Libby. You may find a lot to like and stories that will provide some escape and some comfort. Until my next book, I'll see you next time.